Hello there, friends. Today's March 26, 2024, and today we're going to look at a few Victor Wembanyama and CJ Stroud rookie cards. The green Prizm rookie cards. I know, two different sports, but unless you've been hiding under a rock, obviously you know these are the two players to hunt down right now. So we'll take a look at the 2023 Prizm rookie cards. Green Prizm. Let's start off with Victor Wembanyama. We do have 15 recent comps here on the right-hand side. We'll also interpret them in the meat and potatoes down below. But let's look up top here first. Card number 136. As you can see, pretty much everywhere on the graph, which was very, very surprising to me. We did see a low of 202.50 and a high of 460. That's a 127% swing, low to high. And that just tells you that people are really looking for those perfect cards, and they're willing to pay for them. So that brings me to an important point. When we do discuss these numbers that we see down below, these are for cards that I personally would be buying in person. That way I can see the corners. I know the edges aren't soft. I know that the surface isn't scratched. So I would encourage you, if you want to use these numbers, do them in person at card shows or at card shops so that you can make sure you are buying a pristine card. Now, let's look at the PSA submissions. 271 submissions, 144 have come back at PSA 10. That's a better than coin flip average of 53.14%. Now, that tells me that it's probably going to actually be easier to find a PSA 10 on the market than the PSA 9 at this point in time. But as far as raw numbers are concerned, for the raw card, 308.71 down here in the blue represents the average bid paid to win one of these 15 auctions that I found on eBay. Again, these are auctions, not buy it nows, not best offers. To the right of that, you have $4.69 to give you an all-in value of $313.40. Now, I wouldn't consider this to be the fair market value for this card because sellers have fees that they must pay when they participate in auctions. And minus those fees, it looks like average take-home for sellers is right around $267.50. Now, this is what I consider personally to be fair market value for this Victor Wembanyama green Prizm. I do like to employ stoplight offer systems to make sure I'm getting a better deal. So green, yellow, red are your stoplight colors. Green's a 70% offer, yellow's a 75% offer, and red is usually my hard stop. It's an 80% offer. So first offer comes in at $216, second offer $231, and third final comes in at $246. But I also really like to make sure that I'm getting in on the bottom third of the market. So we're going to sort ascending here and then drop down 5 spots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That gives me $225.25, and that falls right between the green and the yellow. So this is going to become my new hard stop. $225 is what I'd be willing to pay for this card in a raw form, in person, at a show. That's where I'll stop. I won't hit that 80% mark, and this is really indicative of the fact that up top we do have a few outliers, right? We have a few that went over 400. This is not the current wave. Obviously, we'll readjust the sort ascending. This is the current wave. But 460, 405, again, those are people looking for perfects. Those brought those prices up. And I'm not saying that I'm not looking for a perfect, but that's why I think you can still get in on the low end in person with somebody trying to move their cards. Remember, people only make a profit when they sell their cards. And I find that in person at shows and things along those lines are great opportunities to find something on that lower third. Now, if we wanted to sell in the top third, let's sort this again just to go back. So 225 was my bottom third. Sell in the top third, go 5 from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 281.64. So if I bought in at 225, sold at 281, I'm making about a $56 turnaround. That also equates to a 325 buy it now or minimum bid offer on eBay. Okay, so pretty interesting that this card has fallen right between that yellow and green, and also with that 127% swing. There's opportunities out there. You just got to play the game right with this card. Now let's move on to the CJ Stroud. We have a much smaller swing, but still higher than that 50%. So for me, anything higher than 50% tells me that there might be some potential for profit as far as making a swing from low to high. When you get closer to that 10 to 15% swing, that's usually when you've got older cards that have been around for a while, that have seen their market become very, very steady, and it's very hard to make a profit on those cards, especially when those are usually ones that are in the $1,000 or multi-$1,000 range. Anyways, this is $339 from the 2023 Panini Prizm football set. Let's look down below. 87 recent submissions, PSA 10 coming back for 42 of them. That's a 48.28 return rate. Blue is going to be 136.81. Orange is going to be 118.38. That is the seller take home again and fair market value for this card. And first offer is going to be $95.77. So obviously we are significantly lower than where we're at with the Victor Wembanyama. 308 for the Victor Wembanyama on the blue, 136.81 for the CJ Stroud. So a much more manageable price point on this card gives me, an intrigue, because if I can find three of these cards basically for the same price as the Victor, or at least 2.5 of them, then that gives me more product to move. Let's get into the bottom third on this one. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dropping down 5. 108.57 falls right between the yellow and the red. The 108 becomes my new hard stop. And if I wanted to sell in the top third of the market, 298 would net me about a $21 return, or a $149.99 buy it now, or a minimum bid. So of these two cards right now, I'm actually probably more interested in the CJ Stroud. Again, I like that price point of sort of that low to mid $100 range, especially if I'm considering getting it graded. I like where cards perform at that price point. Not to say that if I had a Victor or a chance at a nice looking Victor that I wouldn't take it. It's just that volatility of that 127 is kind of scary to me. So really, so that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, or if these were proven to be useful for you, please let me know down below. Take care, my friends.